Kim was involved in Diddy's life for a very long time, and she saw a lot, but she unfortunately died at the age of 47.
Do you think that Diddy killed Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to.
Now, normally when these kinds of situations arise, I remain quiet. I just listen. I play my position. Actually, yeah, you could say I play my position.
Diddy's name has been associated with many suspicious deaths throughout his career, but none have cast a darker shadow than the tragic passing of Kim Porter. Known for her grace and poise, Kim was not just Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children. She was also rumored to hold secrets that could shake the very foundation of his empire. Now, leaked footage has surfaced, and people are claiming it's the proof the world has been waiting for. According to sources, the video allegedly shows Diddy threatening Kim in chilling encounters. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the industry, leaving even Diddy's legal team scrambling to make sense of the situation. The tension couldn't be higher. Whispers have long suggested that Kim, knowing the danger she faced, recorded evidence that could unveil Diddy's darkest deeds. But as the story goes, Diddy allegedly eliminated her before she could expose him. If the leaked footage truly proves his guilt, the stakes are astronomical. Not only would it validate years of speculation, but it could also lead to a reckoning for Diddy that no amount of influence or power can protect him from. The question is, how much longer can he evade accountability? Despite the romanticized narrative Diddy often pushed that he was Kim Porter's happily ever after, the reality was far from a fairy tale. In fact, their story was more like happily never after, with dark undertones that are now impossible to ignore. Behind the glitz and glamour, Kim endured what many are now calling a pattern of physical and mental A at the hands of Diddy. Insiders have revealed how he controlled even the smallest aspects of her life, from obsessing over the way her hair curled to erupting into violent fits. An insider who worked closely with both Diddy and Kim recently gave an interview to Hot 97, shedding light on troubling aspects of their relationship. The insider detailed Diddy's controlling nature, recalling a specific incident before the 2003 MTV Awards. They said, "I remember how controlling he was over her. He refused to leave for the show until Kim's hair looked exactly how he wanted it. He was fixated on one curl, saying, 'We're not leaving until this curl is right.' It was a small detail, but his control over her was clear. And if things were not to his liking, like when they were at the Atlanta nightclub, Diddy would reportedly hit Kim with a bottle. They said she threw one back at him. I remember thinking, wow, she's standing up for herself, but Diddy turned to me and said, 'We're just two people who love each other.' It was alarming." That casual dismissal of violence speaks volumes about the kind of toxic environment Kim was forced to endure. Even after their highly publicized breakup, a split that Diddy himself instigated, Kim found no peace. Instead, she was subjected to relentless harassment.
When someone cheats and they have a child with someone else, that's my boundary. For me, that's where I draw the line. And so with that happening, it made it a little easier to leave.
Diddy couldn't seem to let her go, calling her obsessively, sometimes up to 50, 60 times a day. While publicly, he flaunted relationships with other high-profile women like Jennifer Lopez. Privately, he clung to Kim in a way that many now see as emotional A. Kim once admitted in an interview with Essence that despite Diddy moving on with Jennifer, he never truly left her alone. The world just saw the bright lights and the camera, but I knew what was really going on. He was still in love with me. No one knows that part. He was calling 50, 60 times a day. Sometimes I wouldn't even talk to him because I was so angry. I couldn't be nice Kim. I had to be, that B, like this is not going down. My feeling was, you made this decision, now stay over there. I can't repeat everything I said at the time because it's really not that ladylike, but I was very expressive about it. You might not believe it, but Kim Porter didn't just walk away from her relationship with Sean Combs. She left with her self-respect intact, even if it meant enduring betrayal and heartbreak along the way. For years, their love affair was the stuff of tabloid headlines, a roller coaster romance that spanned the 90s and ultimately ended in 2007. But behind the glamour and public appearances, their relationship was anything but picture perfect. The breaking point? Diddy's infamous infidelity. Kim wasn't just blindsided by unfaithfulness, she discovered that Diddy had fathered a child with another woman while they were still together. And while many women might have waited for a confession, Kim wasn't one to be fooled. In fact, when Diddy finally mustered the courage to admit his mistake, Kim had already pieced it all together. He told me he may have gotten himself into a situation, Kim revealed in a candid interview with Essence in 2007. And he may have fathered another child outside the relationship. I said, really? Well, I already knew. I'm glad you decided to be a man. Her cutting response wasn't just about the betrayal, it was about the sheer lack of respect she felt after years of trying to build something meaningful with the music mogul. I can't even respect you right now, Kim admitted to telling Diddy during their fallout. And for her, that loss of respect was the final straw. Once it was gone, she stopped listening to the promises, excuses, and explanations that had likely been holding their fragile relationship together. The tension between the public image Diddy projected and the private chaos Kim endured paints a harrowing picture. And as the details of their tumultuous relationship resurface, it begs the question, how deep do the layers of Diddy's alleged manipulation truly go? But unfortunately, no one can get to the bottom of this mystery, as Kim's tragedy died with her. Kim Porter's death in 2018 left the world in shock, but for those who truly knew her, it raised questions that just wouldn't go away.
Longtime girlfriend of entertainer Sean Diddy Combs, Kim Porter, was laid to rest yesterday in her hometown of Columbus, Georgia. Funeral taking place at Cascade Hills Church.
The official story? Complications from pneumonia. But something about that never sat right. Kim was just 47, healthy, vibrant, and deeply protective of her children. So how does someone like that suddenly pass away without any warning signs? The rumors that followed were impossible to ignore, whispering of foul play, hidden agendas, and a story that someone didn't want getting out. Fast forward to now, and those whispers are turning into screams. Kim's family and close friends have launched a lawsuit that's pulling the curtain back on what might have really happened. They claim her death wasn't just a tragic accident. It was a calculated move to silence her. Why? Because Kim knew too much. And the closer you look at the details, the harder it gets to ignore the possibility that she was onto something big. Courtney Burgess, one of Kim's most trusted friends, who's just taken the stand in Diddy's spiraling legal battles, what he revealed, jaw-dropping doesn't even begin to cover it. Burgess claims Kim confided in him during the final months of her life, handing over flash drives filled with what she believed was her only protection. These weren't just backup files, they were her truth.
8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy free-concert parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake.
Burgess says the flash drives hold a treasure trove of evidence, videos, documents, and a manuscript that Kim poured her heart into over the years. The title alone, Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side, is enough to send chills down your spine. But it's the content that's downright explosive. The drives allegedly expose a side of Diddy and his circle that the public has never seen before, one filled with secrets, lies, and actions that could ruin lives and careers. Let's talk about those videos. Burgess claims they capture scenes from Diddy's infamous parties, gatherings shrouded in mystery and wild rumors. The footage repeatedly featured some of Hollywood's most recognizable faces caught in situations they'd never want the world to see. But here's the kicker. Some of the people in these videos were allegedly underage. That's not just scandalous, that's criminal. And if these claims are true, the fallout could be catastrophic for Diddy and the entertainment industry as a whole.
I believe that opioids addiction changed his whole life and changed who he was. He's quietly an addict.
But why did Kim give all this to Burgess? According to him, she was scared, like terrified. In the months leading up to her death, Kim felt like someone was always watching her. She even told Burgess that if anything happened to her, it wouldn't be an accident. She needed someone she could trust to keep her truth alive, and that's exactly what Burgess says he's doing now. This isn't just about the videos, though. There's also Kim's manuscript, a raw, unfiltered account of her life with Diddy. For years, the public saw their relationship as complicated but loving. Behind closed doors, it was allegedly a nightmare. Kim reportedly wrote about emotional and physical Diddy's controlling ways, and connections to activities that could bring down even the most untouchable figures.
Do I think, yeah, There's every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, what makes him, power. That's just the selfishness that make you be like that.
And here's the thing. This book wasn't just a side project. It was her way of reclaiming her voice. For a brief moment, it even appeared online before being mysteriously pulled. Some say it was removed under pressure from powerful people who couldn't afford for its contents to go public.
That the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at. That the coroner and them had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives and them that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we read certain things on the internet about it, that case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in this is in the documentation, shout out to paperwork.
Now, as Diddy faces mounting legal troubles, including charges of racketeering, these revelations couldn't come at a worse time for him. His lawyers are scrambling, his reputation is crumbling, and even his most loyal supporters are starting to distance themselves. And let's not forget the 8 A-list celebrities allegedly implicated in those tapes, some of whom are apparently bigger names than Diddy himself. If Burgess's testimony holds up and this evidence comes to light, it could be game over, not just for Diddy, but for an entire circle of Hollywood elites who thought they were untouchable. Kim Porter's story is finally being heard, and it's painting a picture of a woman who fought to protect herself and her truth until the very end. The truth has a way of coming out, no matter how hard people try to bury it. But what really takes things to another level is the potential fallout from these videos themselves. According to Burgess, there are at least 8 major celebrities caught up in these tapes, and some of them are even bigger names than Diddy. One of the most jaw-dropping parts of Burgess's testimony came when he suggested that at least 2 of the people in these videos were actually minors at the time. Now, just to be clear, no names have been revealed yet, but Burgess's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, has confirmed that these tapes are real and expose some of Hollywood's darkest secrets.
So, just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse.
While Diddy didn't have much to say about the lawsuits, he did release a statement on the memoir. He said, "The Kim Porter memoir is fake. It is also offensive, a shameless attempt to profit from tragedy. Unlike the fabrications in his sickening memoir, it is an established fact that Miss Porter died of natural causes. May she rest in peace." Porter and Combs' children have also distanced themselves from the book as they said in a statement, "We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents. Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as our mom's tragic passing, we feel the need to speak out." Honestly, though, it's quite clear that Combs might be the one on trial, but his children seem to have already made their verdict. Reports suggest that his kids have been keeping their distance from the growing storm surrounding their father's legal troubles. And who could blame them? The charges alone are jaw-dropping. But what's worse is the ripple effect. Diddy's troubles aren't just his anymore.
So that is when he was officially arrested out in New York, and he was charged with 3 federal crimes: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation.
Without even intending to, Diddy has dragged some of the biggest names in the industry into this mess, most notably JayZ. The 2 titans of hip-hop now find themselves entangled in a legal battle after both were named in a civil lawsuit alleging shocking misconduct. And while JayZ's team wasted no time hitting back, Diddy is left scrambling to control the narrative, or at least what's left of it.
The complaint says that JayZ then raped this teenager, and then Diddy proceeded to rape her as well. And by the way, this allegedly was in a bedroom while an unnamed female celebrity watched the assault.
The lawsuit stems from an alleged incident years ago involving a woman who accused Diddy of R-ing her at an after-party following the VMAs. But that's not all. She also claimed JayZ was present and complicit, though she later admitted inconsistencies in her account during a televised interview. JayZ's lawyers pounced on the opportunity, filing court documents that reference these inconsistencies and separating their client from the accusations entirely. For Diddy, the stakes couldn't be higher. His legal team fired back, vehemently denying the claims and pointing out that the woman's story has shifted multiple times. But as JayZ manages to shield himself from the fallout, Diddy's situation only grows more precarious. His criminal charges are even more damning, with prosecutors alleging years of coercion and towards women, claims Diddy continues to deny.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's...
Yet, even as his legal team fights tooth and nail to secure some semblance of damage control, their efforts to get him out on bail have repeatedly failed. Most recently, Judge Arun Subramanian shut down Diddy's third request for pretrial release. And this wasn't some half-hearted attempt. Diddy's lawyers proposed a staggering $50 million bail package, complete with 24/7 security, home detention, and even substance testing. But Subramanian wasn't convinced. In his ruling, the judge cited compelling evidence of Combs' propensity for violence, pointing to video footage showing Diddy allegedly attacking his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in 2016. Prosecutors have also argued that releasing Diddy poses a serious risk to witnesses, raising concerns about potential tampering. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team insists that his inability to prepare for trial from the confines of a Brooklyn jail is severely hampering his defense. But the court remains unmoved, noting that Diddy has failed to prove that his release is essential for his case preparation. As if things weren't messy enough, the resurfacing of allegations surrounding Kim Porter's death has brought even more skeletons out of Diddy's closet. Porter, who passed away in 2018 under what were initially deemed natural causes, had reportedly confided in close friends about feeling threatened in the months leading up to her death. Now, new evidence and witness testimonies are raising questions about whether foul play might have been involved. And let's not forget the mysterious flash drives that Porter allegedly entrusted to a friend before her passing. Said to contain damning evidence of Diddy's connections to high-profile figures and illegal activities, the drives are now being investigated as part of a broader inquiry. With this added layer of controversy, Diddy's already overburdened legal team is facing a nightmare scenario. The cracks are starting to show. Sources close to the case suggest that Diddy's lawyers are growing increasingly frustrated, not just with the court's refusal to grant bail, but also with their client's ever-deepening web of scandals. It's like trying to plug holes in a sinking ship. One insider commented, noting that every time they manage to address one issue, another arises.
That we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid.
And now, whispers are circulating that some members of Diddy's legal team are considering stepping away from the case altogether. Between the mounting allegations, the public scrutiny, and the inability to secure any wins for their client, the situation is becoming untenable. For Diddy, the implications are devastating. His lawyers have been his lifeline throughout this ordeal, but with morale sinking and tensions rising, even they might be reaching their breaking point. And as the trial date inches closer, the question remains, how much longer can they hold the line? In a case that's already one of the most high-profile trials in recent memory, the stakes couldn't be higher. But with his children keeping their distance, his former friends turning into adversaries, and his legal team reportedly eyeing the exit, Diddy's battle is beginning to look more and more like a losing war. That's all for today. We hope you liked that video, and if you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this.